Everybody, my name's Matt and welcome back to the Fantasy Football Fanatic channel. This channel is dedicated to the Fantasy Hub Fantasy Football game for both iOS and Android, and again I'll leave links in the description box if you want to check that out if you haven't done so. Welcome to episode 5 of the Euro 2020 series that I'm doing. In this episode I'll take a look back on the Game Week 4 round of fixtures, which was the round of 16 in the Euro competition, first phase of the knockouts, and look at how my team did in that game week, and then look forward to the next game week, which is the last stage of the competition, quarterfinals, and talk through my transfer strategy for that. So with all that said, let's get into it. Okay guys, so game's now updated after game week 4. Total points for this week managed 61, which is a decent score. Average points this week for everyone else in my league was 42, which were that's lower than it was definitely last week. Definitely a lower scoring week than it was on game week 3, but still the top points of the week was 121. My overall world championship position is now 2,354. Previously it was around 4,000, so went up quite a few places, so pleased with that, and also pleased that I managed the head-to-head winnings, so the 0.2 million goes onto my transfer budget for the next coming game week. So the head-to-head winnings means if someone else in the game can challenge you to score more points, basically, and the way it works is that they can either come to you directly and ask for a head-to-head challenge, or they can just basically randomize it within the game, and that's what's happened here. Someone's just basically randomized. The game's just randomized for somebody to compete against me for points, and luckily I've won that, so I've got 0.2 million to use in my transfer budget for the next game week, which is always handy. So now I'm going to just show you how my team did on an individual player basis, which players scored which points from the last game week. Team on an individual player basis. So started off with Donnarumma and Bonucci for Italy. As I said last week, I was for the last video, I was fairly confident that they would get a clean sheet, but unfortunately Austria, I think, scored in like the 113th minute in extra time to wipe away their clean sheet, which was a bit frustrating. But the main thing is that they're in the next round, so keep them in for. It's a very tough fixture they've got next against Belgium. I think it'll be very, very tight, and they could easily get a clean sheet. Could easily get like a 1-0 win in that, but so could Belgium. So very, very 50-50. But still going to keep them in my team. I had Kimpembe, who I transferred out for Gosens. Now Kimpembe, probably the biggest shock of the tournament so far, where Switzerland knocked out France. France were cruising in that game. They were 3-1 up at one point, and then they just let the lead slip. Switzerland come back 3-3 in 90 minutes to send the game into extra time, and it went to penalties. And for the one person who you think would be guaranteed to score a penalty misses, Kylian Mbappe. As I mentioned in the previous video, he hasn't lived up to his potential at all this tournament. He never scored, and he only got a couple of assists, I think, all tournament. So very disappointing from him. And very disappointing from Kimpembe. Conceding 3 goals, so a -1. So yeah, not great there. Again, another disappointment in the tournament, and especially for me, I kind of loaded up a lot on the Netherlands, because I thought they were going to beat the Czechs quite comfortably, but again, didn't transpire. They were the ones who got beat comfortably by the Czechs. Dumfries, got forward a lot again in the game, does what he does best, but ultimately they lost 2-0, and again, 0 points. Marler, absolutely outstanding really for Denmark. They absolutely trounced Wales 4-0. As I said in the previous video, I did feel as though Denmark, were going to beat Wales, and I didn't really expect them to do it as emphatically as they did. But great performance, a clean sheet and an assist for Marler. Fantastic return there. Wijnaldum, again, another one of the Netherlands disappointments. Didn't really get into the game much. I felt he didn't create anything. I can't really remember a chance that he had, but that's the same for everyone in the Dutch side. Really, it was very disappointing. Forsberg got a goal against Sweden, but unfortunately for him and my team, really, they got knocked out. Ukraine scored a late goal again in extra time. I think the final minute of extra time at 120 minutes to knock them out 2-1. The next one I had was Sarabia, so I definitely wanted a Spanish player for the game against Croatia, and it was just really on the day seeing who was going to start for them, because they do chop and change quite a bit, or they have been doing, and I went for Sarabia because really my budget dictated that I didn't have enough for Ferran Torres, and because of the other players that I wanted to bring in. So I went for Sarabia. He scored, so yeah, absolutely delighted with that. Ferran Torres did get a goal and an assist, so he got the extra points, but I'm more than happy to take the 8 points from Sarabia, with the price difference, and then that allowed me to get the other players that I brought in that also did well. So firstly, I had Ronaldo. Again, disappointing. Didn't get on the score sheet. Portugal had a lot of chances in that game, a lot of shots on target, but unfortunately none of them went in. Belgium prevailed 1-0. Great goal by Thorgan Hazard. I didn't have him in my team. I had Lukaku. Unfortunately, he blanked as well. Then I transferred out Ronaldo. I had for the Italy game, first of all, I had Immobile. As you can see, I've kept Immobile for the next round of fixtures, and I had Insigne because I had planned to have Poulsen in for Denmark, but literally I'd recorded the video, and then on the day of that match, and then about an hour later, when the team sheet came out, he was injured and not even in the squad. So obviously I had to make a change down. At the time I didn't fancy any of the other Danish attackers. I didn't fancy at the time Dolberg, who scored 2. I didn't really fancy any of the midfielders. I know that I was looking at Damsgaard, but then I thought I'd rather go for Insigne for Italy against Austria. So that's what I did. But Insigne didn't get on the score sheet either. So yeah, a little bit disappointing there. So then I took Insigne out for Ronaldo for the Belgium game. He didn't do anything, so then I took him out for Benzema, who luckily did score 2. So I was very, very happy with his performance, until obviously France then subsequently got knocked out of the tournament, which isn't great overall for my team structure. Just before I touch on that though, Depay. So I had Depay in first, and I actually captained Depay. As I said, before, I was very confident before the game started that Holland were gonna beat the Czechs, and quite comfortably. And if they were going to do that, he would be involved somehow, whether it be a goal or an assist. But yeah, didn't happen. Just got the 4 points for captaining Depay. Just going back to my team structure then, going forward before we look at this week's round of fixtures and the transfers that I'm looking to make. Now, as you can probably tell, I've now got 5 players in my team who won't be playing in the next game week, who have been knocked out, and you only get 4 transfers. So I'm going to have 1 player, that I won't be getting any points for, which is not ideal at this stage when you're trying to work your way up in the league. So go into the league position overall, how I finished the game week next, and then we'll look at the squad and the transfers that I'm looking to make, or the players I'm interested in for the quarterfinals, game week 5. So overall in the mini league, I did make pretty decent progress. So last week I was on position 219 in the league, and I've managed to move up to 142. My aim really is to try and break into the top 100 by the end of the tournament, by the end of the game. So yeah, hopeful that I can do that. So if you look at the team that I've got to start with for the game week, so obviously still got Donnarumma, Bonucci, Marla, Sarabia, and Immobile and Lukaku. So you can see those 5 players with the grey circle next to their name there. They're the players who have unfortunately been knocked out of the tournament. So looking at the fixtures going forward for the round of 16. First of all, Spain, Switzerland. Now, obviously, I know that Switzerland, unbelievable performance to knock France out, and that must have taken a huge amount out of their tank. And I believe that even though they beat France, that I think that Spain will end their hopes here. Spain have scored 10 goals in the last 2 games, and very, very free flowing and attacking. And I think that Switzerland will be lacking in fitness after that France game. Took so much out of them, and one of the players of the game for them, their captain Granit Xhaka, I believe, is suspended for this game, which I think is huge. He's kind of the talisman for Switzerland, and he was excellent in the France game. But without him, I don't believe that Switzerland, even though they've still got other good players on the pitch like Shaqiri, Seferovic, who scored a couple of goals, I don't believe that they have enough to beat Spain. So I am definitely looking to add another Spanish player to my team. I'm going to look at the lineup before I make my selection, but it's going to be either Torres or Alvaro Morata who I bring in for sure for that game. The second game, Belgium and Italy, I'm not really looking to bring anybody in for this game because I already have 3 Italian players. I already have Lukaku, and I believe that it's a doubt that Kevin De Bruyne and Eden Hazard are going to actually make this game because they were injured in the latter stages of their last game against Portugal. I think if either out of the 2 are going to play, it's going to be De Bruyne. I think that Hazard, unfortunately, his tournament is ended with the injury that he sustained. I mean, obviously nothing's confirmed. This is just my opinion, but out of the 2, they're going to want Kevin De Bruyne to play in the game. I saw a report yesterday that he's probably going to, if he does play, he's going to be playing with an injection, to get through the game. So he's not going to be 100% fit even if he does play. How's that going to affect his performance? And because of that, without Hazard, without De Bruyne, if they don't play, I just don't believe that Belgium have enough. I just don't believe that Lukaku on his own can beat Italy, who have been absolutely, amazing this tournament. So yeah, I think Italy will go through. And and I'm happy to keep the Italian players Bonucci, Donnarumma and Immobile, and not make any changes for this game. The Denmark-Czech Republic game, maybe bring in another Danish player. Again, I'll have to look at the lineup to see who is starting for them. If Poulsen's back, he could be in consideration. But Dolberg played fantastic against Wales, because got a brace against them. So you'd probably say he'd keep his place. And Poulsen, might be on the bench. I don't know how badly he's injured. But apart from that, really, there isn't any other Danish players that I want to bring in. Czech Republic, not sure if they're going to win this game, but if they do, I think players like Patrick Schick, who is one of the leading goal scorers, just behind Ronaldo in the race for the Golden Boot, he's definitely going to be involved if they do score. So he could be an option. Just not sure at the moment who I'm going to bring for that game. And finally, England versus Ukraine. I mean, like I said on the last video, if we manage to beat Germany, it's coming home. Got to have England favourites to get to the final now. With this draw, we've got after the Ukraine semi-final and final at home at Wembley. I just think that England are going to be too much for Ukraine. They're going to want it so much. The players realise that they've got an amazing opportunity to win something since 1966, and I don't think they're going to let Ukraine get into this game at all. I can see a comfortable win for England, in all honesty. And if I don't bring anybody in for the Denmark-Czech Republic game, I'm more than happy to load up on England. Bring 3 English players in: Kane, Sterling. I had, in all honesty, I had Sterling in the team ready to go for the Germany game, and then I saw the lineup, I saw the formation, 5 at the back, and wrongly I balled my hands up. I didn't think that we were going to beat Germany with that formation. I thought it was very negative, but that's why Southgate's the manager and not me. Totally got it absolutely spot on, matching Germany up like for like formation. And I think it was, apart from a couple of scares, England were fairly comfortable, a lot more comfortable than I've ever seen them before, to be honest, in a major tournament against Germany. So yeah, if I don't bring anyone in for the Denmark game, definitely bring in three England players: a defender, probably Sterling and Kane. And in terms of a captain, I'll captain Kane. In all honesty, I think he is the standout in those fixtures. I think England's game is a standout. They have the best. They've got the momentum going into the game. I just don't, I don't see anything other than an England win. So yeah, I think it's probably going to be Harry Kane for the captain. But yeah, let me know if you're playing the game. What are your transfers going to be? How did you do last game week? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, guys, that brings us to the end of episode 5. If you did enjoy that, please leave a like on the video. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell to be notified as soon as I upload the next one. Good luck to everybody if you are playing the game. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.